Hi, this is me, the Grand Duchess. Good evening. This is me, the Grand Duchess RASMASKONEN. The 6th month of the year, 11th day of it in 2013, if you want to say 2013. Quite frankly, if I had my way on the days, it would be the first day of May in year 2000. That would be the real date for me. I don't know what these people going on with this cosmic universe. They really can't understand. As much as they understand, they're not understanding. As a matter of fact, let me see. It would be just be the 1st of April to me. If I was a cosmetologist. I don't know what these astrologists do. All they do is watch the stars. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, girls. Anyway, God loves me. God loves me. My butt for sauce is wet. Breast and the year still. God loves me. Darling, why does Georgetown have the finest mothers down there? Girl. Was I getting life or not? Oh my God, with the Pride Parade and everything. I didn't realize it was $16 for a movie ticket. Bloof. Girl, the movie was well worth it with Iron Man. I wanted to see more action, man and man action. You know what I mean? Oh, that Gwyneth Paltrow. She was good in the movie too. Okay, great, fantastic. As I said, I was with the honor guard last week, the old guards, the ones that stand up on ceremony for beer and the rest of them. Darling, they were a dish. Those white boys were nothing I've ever seen before, and they were all strong and juicy and muscular. And the black ones, darling, it was something. Oh my God! It was one little one. I was flipped out over, darling. Every time I see him, I couldn't stop smiling. But darling, that's the way infatuation goes. Anyway, darling, what do we want to talk about this week? Still liberation, still finding our way in this scene. Summer is coming, darling, and what do we have to give to the world still? Washington is winding down with their lazy self as usual to get ready to go and put their fat asses on vacation. Anyway, I want one of those houses. Martha's Vineyard, anyone? And you know what, little Miss Caroline Kennedy, if she's in Japan yet, she owes me. And Miss Hillary. Saw their relatives out, saw them out on Saturday in Georgetown. There was a lot of them out, darling. Lots and lots of people were out in Georgetown. Darling, I love them to pieces. I see Sasa Ann Colt here, not the other day. She looked like she's still on cocaine to me. One other thing I want to comment on, the Fort Myers honor guards. I love them, darling. Kisses, flowers, and feathers to those boys. There's another little man in the news about letting the NSA down, but darling, it's about time. Does he hate America or does he love it? That is the debate. For once, what she loves is sacrifice his freedom so that they can enact change. Darling, then something must be either wrong or we're reading mixed signals. And you know what? They can always live that. Honey, I'll take my cash money bailout straight up. If anybody talk to Mr. Mueller, tell him to call me at 301-214-5591 before he leaves office, or 240-274-0156. Me's a Grand Duchess, Ryan Tomlinson, okay? I wrote something yesterday at dinner time. Represent your coming and going in life, and where you know what I mean, where all this transformation, this transfiguration. Are we gonna meet where we want to go? Are we gonna be free again? And how do we not become angry at the establishment? Why do we not say we want to hurt our arm? Because we are able to liberate ourselves and to act freely like that young man for the NSA. But anyway, what we love, sometimes we sacrifice things for, and we do our best to maintain the status quo so that next generation can live free, and that is what we want. We are waiting for this freedom from living against terrorists et al. And so forth, darling. So what do we do, darling? What I did, as I said, when I suffered in the army, I burnt the uniform and burnt the ID card, and I burnt all remnants of the army so that I wouldn't have to take my anger out at somebody else wearing the uniform. And I still maintain it today. And that is a form of healing. Respect it and respect the person. They never did anything else or harm anybody else. They found a way to do it with anger, and that is how we liberate ourselves and liberate our soul while maintaining our strength and dignity as human beings. So here I am. It says, today came and went away. The surprise I gathered yesterday fought its way in place where I stood amazed. Erased the count of their mistakes, the wonder of pity, knowledge complicates, and conscience couldn't comprehend that tomorrow would find me stronger, not incensed. I grew simply greater than their sentence of lies, that the future labored to misrepresent, and the begging brought love to the lonely, and the darkness they threw over innocence. Infinity comforts and beginning mends. And darling, what does that mean? Today came and went away. The surprise I gathered yesterday. Whatever it surprised me yesterday, it went away. It wasn't really a surprise. You were surprised to know that such a thing could exist, or such an idea, or such a thought. And was the thought good, bad, or negative? Was it negative? It probably stunned you. And then when today came after yesterday, you stand, okay, not surprised, not beheld in onto the surprise itself, but letting go and knowing that you're in this place, comfortable, knowing that mistakes are mistakes, but you can't. You wonder with pity that because of knowledge of you or knowledge of your situation, what the hell happened, or why weren't you thought of? Conscience sometimes doesn't comprehend, darling. As I said, sometimes we live in a world, as I'm sure, you know, with President Obama and the rest of them, sometimes they change government, and with the war been for so many decades, that they came in and they just took up the folder and said, let's run along with it, not realizing what is it that we can change? How is it that we are going to manage? What is going to be the edict of our term? And sometimes you can't fault them. We get into all these old habits. We pick up the folder from what somebody else left off, and we continue the same situation without thinking. And our knowledge lends itself to the challenges of the past and not to the present. And so therefore, we get complicated in measures, ideas and actions that we thought would work. But the funny thing is that we are really living in the past of it, because we're unable to see what kind of future we want. We acknowledge what future we want. We acknowledge where we want to go, but we pick up the ideas of yesterday, the thoughts of yesterday, and assume them to be present for and move on with them. And so our conscience wonders, what the hell, where the hell, and why the hell? And how do we comprehend that for tomorrow? Do we become incensed? Do we make more people incensed overseas because we're Americans, or because we're black, because we're transvestite here, or whatever? Do we? Or we just simply grow out of that? We grow greater because we beg to be represented. And although misrepresented, right, in our loneliness, it's like a darkness. We begin again, we start to heal. And that is where I am today with everything. It's unfortunate that President Obama, after the bearer of such a thing, but I hope in his second term that he will realize that he will take up the folder and take the challenge, that it's not George Bush's challenge anymore, it's not Clinton's challenge anymore, because there were a lot of done. It's time for him to get his own folder, as you get your own folder, and mend and have a vision and a goal. This is MEZA Grand Duchess Rasmaskone. Have a good evening. There's so much more to be said, but the time is running out, and I promise 10 minutes. This is supposed to be the liberation of our innocence. We are supposed to be living happy, free and uncomplicated from our mistakes. It's time for Washington to stop living in the war. Stop living in terror of terrorists. They are probably becoming terrorists, the NSA in their acts. It's time for them to start correcting themselves and to live anew. This is MEZA Grand Duchess Rasmaskone. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.